Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today's episode is going to be online school versus traditional college school for medical coding. If you've decided to look into medical coding and you're trying to decide which way to go as far as getting your education, this video is for you. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue. I'm a medical coder. I've been a medical coder for over 10 years, and I created my channel with the hope that by sharing my experiences and my knowledge, that it will help you, whether you are a veteran medical coder or whether you are a brand new medical coder, or if you are just a student of medical coding. So if my video helps you, I hope that you'll do me a huge favor, share it at the end. Please give it a thumbs up, comment below, let me know if you have any other questions. You can shoot me an email because I always include all of my contact information down in the description box below, along with the websites that I'm going to be talking about in this episode. Okay, so let's get started. All right, now you've decided to go into medical coding and you're getting all this information. Where do I go? Where do I start? I really want to do this. Help me. I've been getting lots of emails lately about this topic, so let's do this. All right, you want to be a medical coder, but which way are you going to go? First things first, you have to decide which association you want to go with. If you want to go with the American Health Information Management Association, or if you want to go with the American Academy of Professional Coders. Both of them are the top-rated medical coding associations. When people are looking for medical coders, they are looking for people who have credentials through either of those associations, okay? Now, if you decide to go with either one, okay, both of them have beginner or entry-level medical coding credentials. And basically all these credentials say is that you are brand new, that you have limited to no experience, and then some of it is just like you've never been in the medical field before, and you're just a brand new medical coder. They do have higher credentials that are more specialized, but it's just going to take some time and, you know, whatever the case may be. But once you have your credential, it doesn't mean you have to get a whole bunch of credentials. You can still have a full and wonderful lasting career with just one credential. I currently have one credential. Now, personally, I've got a lot of stuff going on with my education in the background. I don't bring it to my channel just yet because I'm not ready. That's just my process, people. Work with me and trust me, there is a method to my madness. Now, that aside, so you have to decide which association you want to go to. Now, like I said, both of them have their credentials that are for beginners or entry level. With the American Health Information Management Association, they have the Certified Coding Associate. And then with the American Academy of Professional Coders, they have the Certified Professional Coder. And it's going to have a -A, which stands for apprentice. Now, with AAPC, or the American Academy of Professional Coders, they have that apprentice so that this tells your employer or wherever you're at that you have limited to no experience as a medical coder. So you can do things to have that A removed. They have a program on their website called PractiCode, and it just gives you hours of practice, and that you'd have to do to remove that A. Or you can have experience through your employer, and they will also remove the A with that. But you'd have to check the website for more information on that. Now that you've decided which association you want to go to, some programs with AHIMA, right, the American Health Information Management Association, some programs will train you for the CCS, which is the gold standard. That is the Certified Coding Specialist. This says that you can code both inpatient and outpatient because there's differences, okay, in the coding and in the rules, okay. But this CCS is the gold standard of medical coding credentials. Now, this is just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me, but I've been in the field long enough to know, okay? So, like I said, this is my opinion, and you're free to disagree if you want, but I'm just telling you that if you get into a program that offers the CCS with AHIMA that is approved, this is a wonderful credential to have because this will open up so many doors for you. This will allow you to have access to code either inpatient or outpatient. They also have the degree programs with HEMA, but that is something completely separate. Right now, I'm just talking about the credentials, okay? So once you've decided which program you want to go to, AAPC does offer a online program, and so does AHEMA. Both of them do. Right now, AHEMA's program is under construction for their online program, but with that, you can sit for the CCA, or it will fulfill the education requirements for the CCS. So they have their program, and so does AAPC. Both of them, their programs, they run a few thousand, I don't want to quote a price, but it is a fraction of the cost of going to either a trade school, or which can run you in the thousands. Like, I have seen a trade school program that was enough to buy a brand new car. And that was just for a certificate program. And I'm like, credentials, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of money. And then you have your college programs, which again is going to be a lot of money, but it's really going to depend on you. If you learn better independently, if you can learn from an online program, it would be a lot cheaper if you went through the associations. Now, both of them have sales when the AHEMA website is back up and running. You can check. I have been periodically checking, and it's not up yet. And we are in mid-April. Don't ask me the day because I don't know what the day is. I think it's the 20th, 21st. Today's the 21st. Yes. I'm filming the day before, so trying to stay ahead of the curve here. Okay. So they always have sales. AAPC is really good for having their sales as well. Every time I've gone to their website to do research for my show, even though I'm not a member of their association, I still have to look because I'm bringing you guys information on both associations. Yes, I am an AHEMA member, but I don't only talk about AHEMA because I think it's important for you guys to make the choice for yourself. And I try to be as very little biased as I possibly can. But if you ask me, I will tell you about AHEMA. But I always tell you guys to check out AAPC as well. Sometimes AAPC works out better for some people, and sometimes AHEMA works out better for some people. It all depends on you. Now, if you, like I said, if you are able to learn independently and you can go through an online program, or you've had previous background in medical, so learning like anatomy and physiology, medical terminology is not going to be that hard for you. I went to a trade school, but I may as well have gone to an online program because literally that was all I did at the trade school. There was no sort of instruction, and that's the problem sometimes with trade schools. Now, we're all adults here, so let's talk frankly, okay? With trade schools, sometimes you can get lucky and you can get an excellent instructor, somebody who really knows and is passionate about what they're doing. They really care, and they will promote critical thinking, okay? Then you may have a trade school that says, oh yeah, we're really cheap and it's really good and we'll get you to pass, but they won't promote that critical thinking, and you're going to end up suffering in the end because you're going to have to learn this stuff basically on your own. And sometimes when these teachers are up there, they're just literally proctoring from a book. Like, anybody can literally just stand there and just read from a book. And yes, sometimes maybe they have their hands tied because they have to teach it a certain way. But I think if you are instructing somebody, or you're instructing a group of people, that it is very important to make sure that everybody is grasping the subject. And so many times I get emails from people, Blue, my instructor is not helping me and I don't understand and I'm completely lost. I'm about to give up. These emails break my heart because the thing is, I know that if this person is really reaching out, that they really do care about trying to learn it. It's just maybe not being said in a way that's helping them to understand, because everybody learns differently. And so the onus there is on you first to make sure that you are trying to learn as best as you can. Like I said, you can learn this on your own, and programs will range if you're going online or whatever online, basically. anywhere from 4 months to 1 year. Okay, AAPC is like 4 months, and then another couple months you can take the exam. So their program is like 6 months. AHIMA's is self-paced, and you can have a year from the time you pay till the following year to complete the whole program. So basically, it is your pace, however you want to do it. If you're going to a college program, I've seen CCS programs that are 18 months. And so it really all depends on what you want to do. With college, you're going to be spending a lot of money, okay? And yes, sometimes people need to spend that extra amount of money so that they can have somebody to instruct them or explain. My suggestion and my advice would be to try to find people who have gone through that program and see what their experience was like. Because a recruiter, whether they are from a trade school or whether they are from an online program, they're going to tell you anything and everything to romance you into getting into this program. They want your money. They've got to sign you up because it is so difficult to get adults to be motivated to learn, right? When you think about it, you have to be like, okay, I have to tell adults that we want them to go to school and we want them to learn. And adults will have lots of excuses. I work full time. I've got kids. I'm a caretaker. I'm this, I'm that. And yes, sometimes adults may feel guilty about wanting to do a career for themselves. To me, you shouldn't be feeling guilty about wanting to have a career for yourself. If you are a parent, eventually your kids are going to grow up and they're going to have their own families. And then you're going to be stuck with what? So I think going to school for parents is a good example that you can set for your kids, because medical coding is a wonderful field. Now, I will say that my experience has been that medical coding has helped me grow intellectually. It has helped me grow as a person. And now I get to share it with all of you because I'm on YouTube. So I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy in the fact that I can share the things that I know. And literally, we are so independent as far as like how we learn and how we can ask things, because yes, we can ask our coworkers, but sometimes our coworkers are not as experienced, okay? And so really, it's on us to develop as medical coders. And sometimes this is not pushed as much as it should be, okay? Because again, the onus is on us, and sometimes we don't know. And so I'm here to tell you that there is a lot more to medical coding than just looking up codes in a book. It is being the entire package. But how do you get that way, right? Again, it goes back to how you learn. If you are able to learn independently, I would go with the cheaper route, okay? Which is just to go to an online program. Now, if you want to go really cheap and study yourself, you're taking a big chance. But if you think you can do it, by all means, there are study exam prep books for all the credential exams. Okay, there's those for that. Okay, so you can do that. You can study from those and see how you fare. How do you get there? And there's plenty of videos. There's not just my channel. I'm not plugging anybody's channel. I'm just saying that there are plenty of other websites, plenty of other creators that do this. There's not a lot of us, okay? But there is some of us out there that do actually talk about the subject and explain it. I've done many videos demonstrating how to do it. They're not some of my most viewed videos, but I do have them. I do have them out there. I do have a Patreon page, Patreon channel. I always call it page. Patreon channel, and I'm going to plug myself for just a second. Patreon channel, it does have the coding quizzes that I do. It also has critical thinking exercises. I also do crossword puzzles to help you learn your medical terminology and different things. So if you're interested, I hope you'll check it out. And the minimum pledge is $1 per month, and you get access to all of that. If you do any higher pledges, I do have pledge levels that do offer one-on-one tutoring for medical coding. So I'm just putting that out there. And so again, I say, if you're interested, check the link below. All right. So now, again, it's going to go back to how much you want to spend. And yes, sometimes we don't have money to go back to school. We don't have money to get our education, things like that. I did another video where I talked about how to get funding. And if I remember, I will put it in the cards, how to get funding for schooling. So there's a lot of programs. If you are a military spouse, if you are a single parent, or if you are a veteran, there are plenty of, if you've been in the foster care system, there's a lot of funds out there to send you back to school for a trade, okay? And that's what this is. And there's workforce programs that you can go through, okay? So that way you can try to get funding that way as well. If you meet a certain income bracket or something, you'll be able to qualify for some programs. But you can check at your local workforce office, okay? There's also just looking for grants and other ways of funding. Student loans are really expensive, guys, and student loans will stay with you forever, especially if you don't know if you're really gonna like it. I've gotten many emails from people that they got very frustrated. They never understood medical coding. They got this huge student loan. Now they're stuck with it and they can't get a job and they don't understand what the field is. So they're just going to give up and just go back to whatever they were doing before. Now, that's really hard to hear, especially when you've invested all that time and money into it. And just to give it up is just very difficult. But I know we all have bills and rent and car payments and everything. But especially in times like right now where it has people thinking about their future and their employment and everything. If you've been in the food service industry or some other industry that is on furlough right now, of course, this is a main concern for you all. But you can invest in yourself getting educated. You know, it's really going to go back to however you best learn. If you learn better by having a structured environment, then probably going to college would be good for you, or probably going to a trade school would be good. But I'm telling you guys to check, do your vetting with the trade schools, okay? Because not all trade schools are good, okay? And I'm just putting that out there, okay? Stay away from the Facebook medical coding groups. If you are going there for advice, please stay away from there. Now, I say this because I have had too many emails from people lately going into these viper's nests because they don't know any better. Now, I'm telling you guys, if you want to go in there and you find a nice person, great. But I'm telling you, there is so much negativity in those groups. It's not worth it. If this is what you want to do, if you want to be a medical coder, if you want to do these things, great. But don't let anybody dissuade you from doing what you want to do. And so many times I get emails from people, oh, well, I wanted to do it, but then everybody was saying all this and all that. Well, really? You're just going to listen to everybody just because they said? No, this is a great field. This is a very good field, okay? But you have to do work for it. You know what I mean? It's not something that's going to be handed to you. If you want an easy job, this is not it. It's not. But if you want a challenging job, if you want a job that's not going to get boring or you know, bore you to tears because it's monotonous, this is not monotonous. It really isn't. So, and the caliber of every medical coder is going to be different. I've known people who have been in the field for many years, 20 plus years, they can't stand being a medical coder. Then why did you even do it? Oh, because it pays well. But they don't know how to enjoy it. Okay? So again, it's all going to be on your attitude. If you feel like you can do this on your own, great. There's plenty of resources with the books and everything that you learn. Because honestly, you're going to be learning this on your own. Okay? And there is no prerequisites as far as like if you're going for the certification programs, the entry-level certifications, there's none. There's no prerequisites other than the fact that you have to have a high school diploma or a GED. Okay? So if you want to go to college, great. But if you're going to go to college, I mean, you may as well get a degree for what you're going to be paying for a credential certificate because it's almost the same. And it's taking about, I wash my hands, it's taking about the same amount of time as well to get a associate's degree, which is the RHIT, is 2-year program. So yeah, the certification program for the CCS through the colleges is like 18 months. So yeah, it's just a little bit longer for the associate's degree, but hey, you have an associate's degree after you get done. So, you know, again, it's all going to be up to you guys and how you want to do it. But whichever decision you go with, you have to stay committed to it. And you have to know that you got to study, whether you are going through an online program, because the online programs are going to give you all your medical terminology, anatomy and physiology, pharmacology. It's going to give you all of that as well. Okay. It's going to go accelerated is what it is. And I don't know what the pace of the college programs is, but I'm pretty sure that part of it is accelerated as well. Okay. And there's not going to be those prerequisites like you would with college, right? Sometimes I've heard them say lately that people who write in, that they say that, oh, that, you know, they have an English prereq and a math prereq. And I'm like, there's no math in medical coding. Why would you need a math prerequisite? Every college institution is different then, I guess. But we do not do math in medical coding. That math is for software, website developers. That's that coding. We are medical coding. We look at medical records. We code from medical records. We put diagnosis and procedures into codes for statistical purposes. Who says that? Me. Purposes. And for procedure codes for the insurance company. And again, for statistical purposes. So, I mean, it goes all back to that. But yes, you can learn on your own if you want to skip all that. You can go through the online associations. They are directly with the online associations, right? And then you can go, or you can go to college. But if you go to, I want to sneeze. If you go to a trade school, make sure that you can get something out of it, as far as like you get an externship or you get guidance. You know, make sure that it's worth your money to go there. Okay, that's the long and the short of it. So, but yes, check the association online programs before you do any of that other stuff, especially if you're going to go to a trade school. Okay, that's just my advice on that one. So I hope this has helped, and I hope this has given you some sort of way to go about it. Just start with the 2 associations and just go from there. And as far as like knowing which program to go into, I haven't been to these online programs. You know what I mean? I don't even want to say them because I've never been to them. Okay, so I can't say yay or nay. And I'm not going to give an online program other than the associations or a trade school. I'm not going to give them any props by sharing it on my channel. I mean, that makes no sense to me. I know nothing about them. Okay, so I will just say that. Oh, but I can say one thing. Career Step is pretty good. I will say that about Career Step. I have met them several times when I went to the when I've gone to conferences. I've met them several times. They have a wonderful program. They do have programs for different people. So be sure to check it out if you're interested in Career Step. But you know, that's the only one I can plug other than the associations. Okay, and this is not an ad. I mean, I'm not getting paid for this. This is just for you guys' information. But if you want to go through there, I mean, go through there. I know that the Career Step program is comprehensive. I've never personally been through it, okay? So I really can't say if it's hard or not. And that's another thing, guys. I don't know what you may consider hard. I may not consider hard, okay? Or what I may consider easy, you may consider very difficult. So I can't really answer your question if you send me the question of, is a program hard? You have to apply yourself. This is not an easy field, okay? You have to have good reading comprehension, and you have to have attention to detail. That would be your 2 biggest things, okay? Good reading comprehension and attention to detail. Because if you struggle with the English language, whether you struggle speaking it or reading it or writing it, this will come up when you are trying to take your exam and when you get out in the real world. And you have to put all of this together. Okay, so I'm just saying, that's my advice. So I hope you've all enjoyed this. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Tomorrow is the medical coding profession outlook video. So I'm very excited about that. I will be talking about my views on the future of medical coding with artificial intelligence and what is the outlook. And we will talk about that tomorrow on Thursday. So I will see y'all then. So if you are a medical coder, a medical coding student, somebody curious about the fascinating world of medical coding, a provider or a nurse, I invite you to like and subscribe and follow me on my journey in medical coding. I will see y'all on the next video. Bye.